sure, is that a masculine or a feminine word? You know, L or la, I'm not sure. Just say it wrong, right? Say it, you know, say it proud, like they say. Say it loud, say it proud, just say it, right? It doesn't help to mumble or look down. And people will respect you for it. I guarantee you, people will respect you for it. Really, it's really worth noting on delivery. And I think we have a few other tips as we get ready for the practice round, but let's see where we are on the slides. What comes after delivery? Oh, this is what we're going to do for practice. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go through the exercise and explain what we're going to do. And then before you actually get started, we'll take a little break to get you warmed up. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to select a topic and we'll give you a choice of topics. You're going to work on your presentation, you know, take maybe 5 minutes, think about it individually, and you're going to practice with others. And I think maybe given the number of people in the room and the way you're seated, maybe it would be good to just pair up. You know, 2 or 3 people just pair up and practice your presentation with each other, right? Let's go to the next slide so you can see the options. So here's 4 ideas that we had. You know, a favorite hobby or activity, right? So if you know how to, I don't know, if you like to sing, you know, talk about that. A personal story, something that's happened to you in the recent past, something you learned in school. Maybe you learned something in your history class that you thought was fascinating, you never knew. I never knew XYZ. What did we learn this morning? We learned something about some of the waterfalls here in the area, right? So I could tell you something about that, right? Something I learned in the meeting this morning with your rector. Or you could talk about a social issue or a current trend, something that really is of importance to you, something that you really feel passionate about, whether it's poverty or economic crisis, whatever that economic or social issue might be. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll just add to what Marcy was saying, and you're going to be tempted because I'm sure you're amongst friends here and that kind of thing. But remember the 3 points that we led in with is, try to make this as formal as you can, even though you're talking to your peers, right? Because you want to get that practice. And, we're giving this to you intentionally. You're not going to have slides. You're just going to speak. And I think it's important for you to think about it because as you grow up and as you enter whatever work you're going to be doing and wherever life takes you, there's always going to be moments where people ask you to explain something in a meeting or on the spot, or your boss could say, hey, like, can you fill me in on XYZ? And you're going to have to organize your thoughts quickly and talk in a manner that is similar to a formal presentation, but on the spot. So treat this exercise like that it's an opportunity for you to practice a real world skill that you're going to have to be comfortable with going up. So, and then maybe what we'll do, Marcy, is Marcy and I will walk around after you get a little break and then you start doing this. And then maybe we could choose some brave souls, maybe 1 or 2 of you to come up to the front if, and yeah, and model. So.
Yeah. Something else I was thinking of when you said that. What did we say was the 3-step process? What's the first thing in the 3-step process? You just shout it out. Say what you're going to talk about. Talk about it. Tell us what you talked about, right? Because if you started with numbers 2 and all of a sudden started telling me about, some football, thing that you do, I will not know what you're talking about, right? So you need to give people a heads up, right? I want to tell you about my favorite sport, right? And then tell me about it, right? Or my favorite sports team, something like that. But lead into it, right? So we know what you're talking about. I want to tell you about this, okay? Your audience that you're going to be working with is this audience. So imagine this audience or other colleagues, other students at your schools that you're talking to. But also imagine, as I see we have a few in the room, imagine there are teachers in the room too. So don't get too casual. It's not like, hey, bud, right? Like that sort of thing. There are teachers in the room. So imagine you're standing in front of a class of students and teachers. One final thing, I think, to get us warmed up is if everyone stands up. Everyone should stand up. So I don't know who gets nervous before they have to do public speaking.
Show your hand.
Nobody gets nervous?
Gets nervous. Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Mm.
Okay, that means you've all just volunteered to come up
They all-
and be filmed.
We'll have a whole room full of TED Talks here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys, I do get nervous for public speaking, and this is something I learned from a TED Talk, actually. Her name is Amy Cuddy, and she does these amazing tech talks. They're kind of old now, but I love them, where she talks about power poses.
Yep.
And so I will demonstrate. So she says that if you stand like this, you have to put your hands on your hips, right? None of this, like, no, like you have to talk like this. We didn't talk about
Body language.
body language, but it's very important. If you stand like this for 2 minutes before you present, it helps. It helps a lot. Because you don't want to stand in front of your audience like this, right? They will appreciate it. But if you have the opportunity to help build your confidence by standing like this for 2 minutes, they actually did scientific research to prove that that helps. So I want you all to do this now as you're thinking about what you're going to talk about, so that you can be prepared to do your presentations. Okay? 2 minutes. You've already had one, so you get one more. And then we will give you all 5 minutes to think about what you want to talk about and start practicing. So it should start to get loud in here, right? Because you're going to be thinking about what you're going to present. We'll put those slides, there they are. Think about that, and then practice with 1 or 2 other colleagues in the room. Got it? All right, we're off.
All right.
5 minutes.
Good luck. Yes, they should all be. Please sit back down. If you have any questions for us, just raise your hand. We'll be happy to. That is helping. Yes, yes. If they want to give it, that's good. Okay.
Oke, time is up, time is up. Waktunya sudah habis, silakan duduk lagi. Sambil menunggu, while waiting, we have some snacks. Bolehlah itu diambil kalau mau makan. Karena haus habis ngomong minum dulu ya. Right, so Marcian, and are they volunteering or you pick?
Volunteer, we'll pick from there.
All right, okay.
So,
If any of you want to volunteer, yang berani maju, 3 orang. We provide special merchandise, but semuanya dapat cuma 3. Jadi you have to present what you already prepared and practice with your friends here in front of the camera, of course. You'll be live streamed on YouTube, so yeah. So please, principal.
So before we get started, did everyone come up with a speech?
Oh,
Everyone
good.
did. Excellent.
Great.
Did you follow the 3 steps? Okay. Are you still working on it and that's why you're still talking?
Oh, there's okay.
Are you guys ready? Okay. So, 3 steps. Shout them out. What's the first step? Tell us what you're going to talk about.
Right.
Talk
Talk
about
about
it. Tell us what you talked about. Okay.
Right.
3 things. Volunteers.
Brave volunteers.
Who wants to volunteer to present? 2 to 3 minutes. We forgot to put that on
Yeah.
here, you guys. This should be no more than 2 to 3 minutes.
Keep
We
it
have
short.
volunteer number
All right,
1.
yeah.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Ray.
Ray. This is Ray. You want to stand in front of the camera here, or you want to tell us where he should stand?
Where am I supposed to?
Right here?
Shall I stand?
Here, tell him exactly.
Where's the best spot?
This is the main camera. You don't have to worry about the camera over there.
Okay.
Okay, this one.
So where should he stand exactly?
I think you can stand
Right over here.
here.
Right here.
Yeah, that's fine.
In
Yeah.
front of the red chair.
Nice.
Don't stand on the cords.
Oh, yeah, that would
Okay.
be dangerous.
Don't forget, this is your audience here.
Okay.
Right now. Okay.
Sure.
Good morning, guys, boys and girls. My name is Ray, mentioned by Miss Marcy. Yeah, by Miss Marcy. And today I am going to talk about the origins of a croissant. That is what I learned in school.
All right.
Yeah. So when I mention croissant, you guys would probably think that it's from French. It's a very French name, right? Yeah, it is. But truth be told, the croissant is actually from Austria. See, Austria, yeah. It came from the word crescent, which symbolizes the crescent moon. And then, and these Austrians, and the people living in Austria would eat the crescent as a form of disrespect towards the Ottoman Empire, because at that time, they just won the battle with the Ottoman Empire. So it symbolizes them eating their symbol, the crescent moon. And so, yeah, so you guys know where the croissant is actually from. It sounds really French, that's why the French claimed it, and it became popular in French. And so, yeah, that's the actual origin of the croissant. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ray. So can anyone tell us, see how well Ray got his message across to you? Where is the word, where did croissants emerge, or where is the origin? What country? Austria. And what language does the word sound like? French. And what is the original word in English? Crescent. Excellent. Thank you, Ray. Great job.
Shape a pose first. Yeah.
Oh, you want to get in the middle?
Switch over. Come in the middle. Yeah.
I'll be real quick.
All right.
Pose, smile big, 1, 2, 3, another one bonus. And perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Great job. And always difficult to be the volunteer number 1. So Ray said that, yeah, he was shaking a little bit. So keep that in mind. It's another tip for when you're presenting. You can pause. You know, you don't need to race through it. If you're nervous, just stop, or even don't start until you're ready, right? Like, take a deep breath before you start and pause if you're having a hard time. So who's our second volunteer? Want to take over?
Oh, sure. No, that's fine. Yeah. Who's next?
Come on.
Ray showed you how easy it was. Yes. Who's the brave woman?
Power woman.
Yes.
You want them to pick one if you had that?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to pick otherwise. Uh-oh. Do we have a brave? Oh, I can let Marcy pick. Somebody? Oh, we have someone? Okay. Yay! Come on up. All right. Wonderful. Please. What is your name? Adele. All right. Adele, thank you. Please give a round of applause for Adele.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Adelia Marshataki. You can call me Adele. So today I will talk about my school activity. That is Super Camp. Super Camp is like a camping activity for my school. It is an yearly event. So every year in around May to July, we have a Super Camp. It's about 3 days. Then Super Camp is like an activity we we camp in Toban Hondo. So we sleep there for three days and 2 nights. The first day we cook together in our group. So the group in there we get divided by the committee. In the group there is contains about 10 to 11 grades. So it's mixed, not just 10 grade and 11 grades. It mixed 10 and 11 grade. And if we want to eat, we can cook our dinner and lunch or breakfast together. And we have some agendas like mission game and fun game. Mission game is we like solve the riddles from the committee and we get the prizes and we get good points too and we get awarding. If fun game, we have a lot of fun games like outbound or etc. In the second day we have a campfire, so we gather around the campfire and we sing a song together. And in the last day we come and like trekking in the forest too, and the destination is a waterfall called Toban Tengah. We go to there and we take photos together, and that is the last day. So that is my school activity about super camp. Thank you very much.
Excellent, excellent. Who's going to tell us what she talked about? Super camp, right? How long is it? 2 nights, 3 days. Any other details you can remember?
Who can name one activity that she talked about? Yep. Waterfall. Uh-huh. Yep. That's right. Were they correct? They were correct. All right.
I will say you did an excellent job of pausing rather than saying, I didn't hear a single, not a single one. So great job on doing that. You just pause. Perfect.
Congratulations.
Okay, big smile. 1, 2, 3. Another big smile. And we're. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You want to take this? Okay. All right. One more. Okay, perfect. We have a volunteer, willing volunteer. I love it. What is your name? Azar. Okay. Big round of applause for Azar.
So good morning, everyone. So my name is Ezar. You guys can call me Ezar. So today I will talk about a current trend in the Gen Z. It's called quiet quitting. Since we know Gen Z are the generation that actually that currently productive in the job field. For example, like in the IT stuff, most of them are Gen Z, but they have kind of tendency that they are lazy. Why? Well, because they are already exposed to the technology since they are kids. They are already get something very instant, all in just in one tap and voila, you got it. Thus, this kind of trend makes them, um, you know, makes people think that they are lazy at job. But no, it because they deserve more. This kind of this kind of issue comes from when they are not appreciated. Thus, they are protest to their supervisor that they deserve more. Thus, they just quit quitting or just do it in the bare minimum of the target. And that is the current state that we face in the professional world. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. You also did a great job of no ums, no uhs. Can't say the same thing for me. I often use and I was very. I praise you for for avoiding the use of the word like you know. And and I just said it. Uh, let's ask. What is the topic that he told us about? Quiet quitting. And what is it? Those who are quitters, what do they want? More. Basically, they just want more, right? They want more, which is the key word. I think that was an excellent explanation of what quiet quitting is all about. So, round of applause again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So Ria tells me that she has an idea for, we have 3 more prizes, but she said she would like us to do a Q&A for the final piece. So you're going to share your presentations with each other on your own time or with your teachers, some of whom are in the room here, and I'm sure they want to hear your presentations. So, but I think what we'll do now is we're just going to take a seat and we are open for questions about our work, our jobs, our careers, our opinions on quiet quitting or anything else.
Don't teach me how to quiet quit, though.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know if this one.
Your hobby, your favorite person, your favorite quotes. It can be about anything.
We'll take any questions, but I think it has to be a question. We want to hear a student that is brave enough to stand up and ask a question.
Yeah. Don't be shy. Okay, perfect. Yes.
That's, uh, okay, today I will introduce myself. My name is Hanif Triagung. Oh, my name is Hanif Triagung. You could call me Hanif. And I have a question. I heard a lot of in America that trade jobs like basically becoming a plumber or electrician or maybe a mechanic that in those type of job they were very respected and very in getting paid well. It's such a different in here in Indonesia where I don't know why people don't have respect for those type of people who work at those type of industry or being a mechanic and stuff. They oftentimes try to disrespect or saying that oh it's just like this. No, no, no. Try to yeah basically try to disrespect. They don't have the respect for those type of jobs. So my main question is that how people who work in trade jobs is treated in America. That's it, sir.
Okay, sure. Yeah, and I'll hand this off to Marcy. I'll give my perspective first. I think that's a really great question, and it's hard to answer because things are different personally for different people, and then also the U.S. is such a large country, right? But from my experience, I can tell you that I was born and raised in the U.S. And I one of the ideals that we grow up with, or that I grew up with in upstate New York, is where I'm from, was that there's dignity in all work, and that's one of the foundational, I think, principles of U.S. Of being a citizen in the United States, that we all tend to hear, and we all hear, no matter, regardless of our generation, that you can, whatever profession you choose, is respected, because there's we have a saying in the US that, a hard day's work, right? Maybe you've heard of that, right? That you go out and you earn your money, and you earn a living, and do the things that you need to do for life. And I think that's sort of what I've embodied in my life, and what I grew up with, and being taught to respect everybody. And I think, one other thing that I'll say is, when you work, we have a term for that called vocational training, right, in the US. And so the US has a lot of different pathways for education, right? I mean, 4-year colleges and universities is one way, but it's not for everybody. And I think, the United States has done a great job of diversifying those pathways for different people. And so if there are people who have skills in some of the jobs you mentioned, they have opportunities. So,
Yeah, I think that was a really great summary, and I think it very much matters on your individual experience. As Anoop said, it's a big country, and there are a lot of different communities. So I spent a lot of time in Minnesota. It's where I went to college and university. And when I was a young adult, because I'm old now, but when I was a young adult, the community I hung out with, like my friends, it was a mix. So, Jerry laid brick. He was a tradesman. That's what he and all of his fellow workers did, is they did brick patios, right, and brick walls. I had a friend who was a secretary, right? What else did we have in the group? I had a college degree at that point. My husband was in trade school to be an electrician. So it depends on your community. I can tell you that I certainly would not, if I were a tradesperson and I felt like I was being disrespected by someone anywhere, in any country, any community, why would I be around them? Right? I wouldn't want to be around them unless you're talking about salaries. That's a different issue, right? Pay scales and things like that. And in the United States, that's an issue of supply and demand. So it means if you're a plumber, plumbers tend to make really good money in the United States, I will tell you. They tend to be very well paid. So if it depends on what you're trying to get, what your objective is. If your objective is money, being a plumber is a very good profession. If it's type of respect from PhD, candidates in physics, then, maybe it's not the right profession. But there's no single answer, I think, for that. But it's a very interesting question. Yeah, thank you.
sure.
One and two.
Hello, my name is Sintan. I want to ask, how do American citizens view Donald Trump policy? Because as we know, he just won the election. Are there any differences between his policies and those of Joe Biden's when he led America? Thank you.
Thanks. That's a really, yeah. That's a big question, and there's no single answer. Yes, yes. So there are lots of differences. You asked if there are any differences between the two policies, between the Trump administration and the previous Biden administration. There are a lot of differences, yes, on any host of issues that you might think about. What do Americans think? Of a variety of different responses, right? There are people who supported the previous administration, people who support the current administration, people who don't have opinions one way or the other, people who don't care. There's just there is no single answer to that question, I guess I would say. So I would say that if you met someone who said, who identified as an American to you, and say, I really disagree with the Biden administration, or I really disagree with the Trump administration. They don't represent all Americans. Nobody represents all Americans. We all have different opinions. Just like I'm sure in this room, you all have different opinions about your leaders. So, but interesting question. Thank you.
Yeah, I will echo what Marcy stated. You know, I mean, I'll keep going back to it. I mean, the U.S. is such a large country, just like Indonesia, and similarly, I think both Marcy and I have had the privilege of living and working in different parts of the world, and I can tell you one of the most common things that I've seen is that citizens in vastly different countries are very similar in the sense of we all want the same things out of life, and we all we have different preferences and values that shape our lives. And so I think that's at the heart of it at the end of the day. Like Marcy was saying, I mean, if you meet an American, or if I meet an Indonesian elsewhere in the world, it's a different perspective completely. And so yeah, thank thank you. Oh. Mhm.
So, um, my name is Muhammad Fatir Ali Marianda. You can call me Ryan. It's more easier to say in USA accent, in foreign language, in English language. So, you can call me Ryan. So, right now, I'm in 12th grade and last year of high school. So, I will ask something that is related to me. It's about university.
Mhm.
So, I want to ask about university safety. So we know that in almost every university in this world, there will be discrimination, violence case, and since in America, in USA, sorry, owning a gun is legal, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I just want to ask about the if I went to university in America, in USA, how much it will be saved for a foreign student like him. I will ask about safety. Thank you. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, you all are gonna roll your eyes because I'm gonna start every answer with "it depends" or and no, but with all honesty, I think I could just talk about my experience, and I think every university in the United States, whether regardless of big, small, medium, large, whatever you call it, has they have it's treated like a small community, right? No different than here. And you have safety, and you have police, and you have campus security. And so, I would encourage everyone that you will feel safe in a university. It's a place of learning, and I think universities take it very seriously. They take the safety of their students very seriously, and that's coming from my own experience.
Yeah, I mean, safety means a lot of different things, right? You asked something about owning a gun. The way it works in the United States is you need a permit. So yes, you can own a gun, but you need a permit. And getting a permit depends on a lot of different things. But the first thing is it depends on where you live. So there's different permit rules for each state. And from there, then it depends on how those rules are in that state, but you have to go and apply and get a permit. So it's not just walk up and grab a gun from the local store and you're done and then you go shoot someone. That's not how it works, right? That's number one, if I understood the question. And then safety on university campuses or safety at colleges. As Anoop said, all universities and colleges, I don't know if I can use the word all, but all that I'm aware of have some kind of security, right? And they're going to vary tremendously. I went to a small college. My first experience was at a small college in a small town. yes, even we had small security, or we had security. And this was in a town where, the biggest disasters that the police handled there were like cats stuck in trees. That was like the big crime. So, but they had campus security, and it was to make the students feel comfortable, right? It was so that they knew that if anything happened, we knew what to call, who to call and what to do, right? So we take it very seriously. I think Americans in general think about security a lot and worry about it. And so you see a lot of it in the news because of that, because we talk about it and we think about it and we're focused on it. But I'm sure you all experience this too. You feel safer in some environments than you do in others, right? Regardless of what it is. And you have some responsibility for your own safety. You're not just relying on your mom and dad, especially now, right? As you're getting older, your safety, you have to take that on yourself, right? You have to decide where you're going to go in the evening and who you're going to be with after dark and where you're going to walk or not walk. So those are the same issues everywhere, is taking responsibility and being aware of your surroundings at all times. But in general, I mean, I'm not afraid to go to the US. I don't know. Thank you.
Oh, sure. Yep. In the middle.
One line, please. One line. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Framing. 1, 2, 3. Great.
Thank you. Yes.
No, thank you everyone for coming. We really appreciate it. Really nice to. Sure, if you want to take the lead, we don't know what you want to do. I think we're turning it over to Ria now, and I guess she's got something in mind. And we have, I'm not sure, maybe 15 more minutes, but I'll leave that up to Ria to decide if you guys have time. Do you have time?
Yes, of course. They can stay until 1.
Okay.
Right, okay. Well, let's give a big round of applause once again for our special experts today. Okay, now we already interact with the audience and then you already present your topic. Now we would like to interact with you as the guest. So we have a small games here. I'm going to show 5 pictures, genuine, from Indonesia. And then you have to say, you can use English or Bahasa Indonesia and say what that is. Just like, for example, if I give a picture of someone swimming, you should say something like, oh, that's berenang, if you can. And then maybe it's a kind of our traditional food, and then you have to guess what food is that, right? Okay. No, you cannot have. Right. So here, okay. So what is this? Have a look. This is our traditional food made of soy. Oh yeah, tempe. Wow, okay, great. It's called tempe, right? How long have you been here, Marcy? 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. How about you? 1 week? Okay, that's unfair, but yeah, okay. Oh, I thought you're familiar with this. Okay, this one, right? Okay. Okay, how about this? Okay. It's easy. All right, okay. This, oh yeah. This one, is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. This is our traditional food. Oh yeah. Oh, it's great. Have you tried one? Oh wow, you're doing okay? No. Oh, that's great. This one is going to be hard, I promise. Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's not karate. You don't know? This is pencak silat. Pencak silat. Yeah, there are lots of things like this. Like we have karate, taekwondo, jujitsu. In Indonesia, we have pencak silat. Yeah. Oh, and this is the last. This one. Ah, how about this? Yeah, musical instrument. Angklung. Yeah. Mercy was right. She said, if I'm not confident with some words, I'm being wrong. Okay, so I guess that's a wrap up. Once again, thank you very much, Marcy and Anup. Terima kasih. Yeah. Next time, stay longer in Malang. We'll take you around for the culinary. Yeah, okay. Sure, the waterfall. Yeah, right. Okay, let's thank you. Thank you. Let's give on. Okay. Right, good afternoon. Terima kasih semuanya. You're fabulous and we are signing up. Thank you very much. Ya, silakan. Oh, mau foto dulu. Ya. Boleh. Oh,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can.
oh, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, oh no. Apa? Oh, boleh. Kasih ke mereka aja. Siapa pun mau pegang propertinya American Corner, silakan.